Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing a session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in booking a session with me, you can do so at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right. Wow, some intense goals here. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today, and thank you so much for being open to sharing with others here on YouTube. It takes a lot of courage to open up about what you're going through and the challenges you're facing with it and the confusion. So I really want to commend you for having the courage to even do that. And I think there's so much that we all can learn from this. And one of the big things that I want to emphasize here is let's focus on the love, okay? Let's focus on hugs and support and no judgment at all, okay? This is a safe environment. When I read your goals, and I will here soon, so everybody knows what the topic is, I will say it's very hard to breathe. It's like there's a lot of pressure built up in the heart, and it's overwhelming. It's kind of like that sensation where like your blood runs cold and you just feel like uncomfortable and nervous, and it just lingers, you know. And I think you're caught between the concepts of what is right and what is wrong, the concepts of honesty and being open, and we're dealing with soulmates here, and you don't want anybody to get hurt, and it's just a pile up, isn't it? So, okay, even talking about it, I feel overwhelmed. You must feel so overwhelmed. Okay, I'm going to read these goals out loud. So you say, I have been married for 40 years. For the last 15 years, I have also been in a relationship with another man. The guilt and shame I have always had about this weighs heavily on me, as does the fear of discovery, which would be so devastating to so many. Your video on Seth and his elevator and lighten the load really resonated with me. I have never stopped thinking I should end this, and that feeling is especially strong now, but I'm having trouble doing it. Maybe I don't know how, or I don't have the courage, or I'm not supposed to end it. Did this relationship mean something, or was it a mistake? Any insights, guidance, perspective would be appreciated. Okay. Whew. Wow. All right. I'm going to relax and I'm going to get in the zone, and we are going to discover some things, okay? This is going to be nothing but supportive. I have a feeling I'm going to have to clear out a lot of this the density and buildup on the heart, because it's very hard for me to do much else. But let me just see where the spirit guides want to take us here, okay? Okay, they're going to start by having an aspect of myself, and I see you standing before me, and I just placed my hand in your heart, and I feel your heart full of light. Like you need support, someone to talk to about this. You got to relieve this pressure. And I hear, well, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's like this is just the beginning. We could take the easy way and just end the relationship and focus on the one that you have been in for 40 years and just let everything go. Or we can be honest about everything. And that's sort of rumbling and shaking the house. Like I see the walls are shaking. And none of these conversations bring any sort of relief. No matter which direction, there's no relief. And you're wanting relief. You're wanting relief from 15 years of feeling shame and guilt. You're wanting relief. I will say something has to come to pass with this. There's a reason why you're feeling strongly like you need to make a decision, decide which direction to go in, because deep down inside, you're wanting relief. You're wanting to make amends or start bringing this into balance, because it is very conflicting. There's a lot of conflict in your mind, in your emotions, in your heart, in your soul. Like, there's conflict. And you need to start mending or working on that conflict, and you need relief. I mean, that is quite loud here. We're still in the beginning. I feel like I haven't even walked through the doorway of understanding more. We just have to start with transmuting this energy and circulating it and just talking about it for starters, okay? So I see that you're kind of all puffed out, which is natural, because when we're uncomfortable, we kind of hold a lot inside, okay? And it kind of puffs out like a hot air balloon, so we become like balloons, okay? And so I'm just diminishing all of this air buildup, because even the air buildup, it's kind of like an airbag. It protects you in the vehicle. If you're in a car accident, the airbag does. So the airbag of yourself is there to kind of protect you as well. Maybe anything that could hurt you would just bounce off, but actually you need to be completely exposed. And that's just energetically, okay? With all this pent up energy, we need you to just be yourself without an airbag around you. We're not going into any of the hard stuff right now. We're just going to do the basic stuff. And I help you find your feet, because your legs are really weak and wobbly. And you say, who am I? Who am I? And the question is, am I a bad person? Have I done something wrong? Is this wrong? I ask you to answer that question. I want to hear what your answer is to the question. I want you to ask yourself if you have done something wrong, if you feel like you have made bad choices here. I just want to hear what your answer is inside yourself, okay? Again, no judgment. It could be anything it needs to be, but let's work with honesty. Okay. You can't find the words to answer it, so it's full of feeling. And I'm moving through a pathway that's basically really narrow. It's so insanely narrow. It's like 2 inches wide, and it's very rough pieces of wood. And so I have to turn my body sideways and suck it in to move through this wood, and the wood is scraping me and splintering me, and it hurts really bad. And I'm trying to get my way into the centerpiece where there's this single splinter. But this splinter is pretty powerful. It's pretty painful. And is it a splinter, or is it like this almighty terrible suffering? You know, we think of a splinter as, oh, well, it's not very fun to get a splinter. We just got to get the tweezers and pull it out. This splinter is literally like your whole body being shish kebabbed. It's not an easy splinter. It is an impossible splinter. And to get to it is an impossible path that's ripping you apart. So how do you remove a splinter like this? How do you do it? You're going to have to rip yourself apart to even get to it. let alone to touch it, to try to remove it. I say we're going to do this together, okay? Because anything that hurts in the energy world, we just allow ourselves to feel it. No resistance. We just feel it. We face it with all of our soul, with all of our sensational energy. We feel it and it starts to change itself. Because anything that we're afraid of becomes really a monster, basically. But then when we face a monster, it starts to become something else because we're not resisting it anymore. So when we stop resisting, now we are confident or we are secure, so we aren't affected by it. So it's not a monster anymore, you know? So we're not going to resist this. All right, this is a big deal, okay? So we're moving through the path, okay? This is a lot, all right? This is a lot. As we get in there, we start moving through it. I see that, oh my gosh, this is a very long walk. And I'm being taken to a place that the only way my human self can understand it is to describe it as a room that is full of cooked pizza. And it's like burnt flesh that is turned into cheese that is literally dripping from the ceiling and the walls, and it reeks in here. You know what's interesting? It reminds me of this smell. You ever go to the store and get a oven roasted chicken? They're awesome, all right? And they're affordable, and it's like a great quick meal for the family. For some reason, that chicken smells amazing, and sometimes it smells like farts, okay? It's like I'm ringing the chicken up. It's like, I did not fart, I swear. It's a chicken. It smells off right now. So sometimes it smells good and sometimes it smells questionable, okay? Now this pizza is like that. Pizza can smell really awesome, but for some reason it's not smelling awesome right now. It's smelling questionable. It's smelling like very questionable, okay? It's embarrassing. It's starting to smell like embarrassment, okay? I'm embarrassed. Man, you have no emotion to really express how you feel. No wonder you can't answer the question. And I said, let's just stay in this embarrassing pizza place. But my guides remind me it's worse than that. It's like melted human skin in here, like is the cheese. It's a tortured flesh. But it still looks like pizza, so it's not as bad. It's almost like we take something that's really bad and we turn it into something that is a little bit easier to tolerate. If it's melted pizza room, that we can work with it. If it's melted human flesh room, we can't work with it, right? So now it is actually both. It is both something tolerable and something completely intolerable. It's something that smells good, something that is questionable, okay? So we're dealing with major, it's bad, it's not that bad, okay? So you are literally living in two realities of it's really bad and it's not that bad. But you're working with the concept of it is bad. It is bad. So it's really bad or it's not that bad. You guys like the survey? I really like this. I kind of like this. I like it. I'm undecided. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I definitely hate it. We're kind of working in the beyond the I don't know. We're on the not good, okay? So if we were filling out the questionnaire, the survey, and we're responding with it's really bad, it's not that bad, and those were our answers, the company would be like, ooh, better make some changes to the product, okay? So you're answering the questions as both it's really bad and it's not that bad. So we're gonna have to make changes, okay? So that's the answer, okay? You're gonna have to make changes. This is actually good. We're like getting some like basic solid understandings here. Like you can't really argue with that. Okay, let's see. I actually feel really great. I feel like we found the answer inside of you. It was hard. It was hard, but we did it, didn't we? And I give you a high five. And okay, my guys are like, we're not even close to the splinter yet. Oh God. Oh man, this makes me want to vomit out old rotten turkey. I'm gonna puke. Like, this is stomach, this is heart, this is throat. Oh. Better. Breathable. Breathable. See, we're facing it. We're facing the monster. We're facing the monster. What is the monster? What actually is the monster in the situation? What is your greatest fear in the situation? Are you the bad guy? Are you the monster? Are you facing yourself? We got to look at this. We have to look at this. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get into the next space so we can talk about it because you can't find the words. And so if we can go into the space kind of helps us to translate it. And this, oh man. Wow, you're going through so much shifting energy and it's so vulnerable. All right, let's just say I can't see, however I can. Basically, it's kind of like a wall that maybe you thought was made out of wood. It was really nice product. And then water spilt on it, and it was actually like some kind of cardboard with paper. It wasn't as nice as they said. They lied to me. All right, so now you're living with reality, okay? It was nice, but then, it was a sham. But what's even stranger about this is what was wood is now like cardboard with paper. And for some reason, this is flexible, extremely flexible, and it's bubbling out big time. Like this is full of air, like we're injecting air into a wall, and this wall was supposed to be solid, but actually it was not. It wasn't even made out of what I was told. It was supposed to be legit, and it's actually not legit. And so this is just filling up with air, and I can't accept this. You're a fraud, you're a sham. I can't accept this. You lied to me. You sold me something, you told me it was real, and it was not real. And I found out that it's not real. What am I supposed to do? Live with this? Am I supposed to just live with this? I don't want to live with this. I want nothing to do with living with this. How could you lie to me? Okay, that needed to come out. Is that how you feel maybe your husband will speak to you? If you come out with the truth? That we're supposed to be this like, this solid, like I just see a piece of furniture that we were told is wood, but then it's actually particle board or something. It wasn't as great as we thought. And so you're having to live as less than you were intending to be, okay? You're always intending to be the top of the line, and you ended up being cardboard. And now your husband is seeing you as this lie. He was sold a lie, and now he's responding to it, okay? So this is what you're expressing to me, that you do see yourself as the cardboard that was supposed to be the top of the line, like wooden furniture, was actually worse than particle board. It was cardboard. All right, so this is good because we're gonna have to you have to face yourself, okay? I want to remind you, like, okay, in the energy world and in the human world, there isn't going to be a single time where you're not going to find a complex scenario that you're going to get yourself into. And now you get to decide who you want to be in that complex scenario and the decisions that you want to make. And this is the beautiful part of life, because we're challenging each other. We're challenging ourselves. Literally, life is simply about how we want to love, or we want to hate, or we want to forgive or not forgive, or be grateful for, or say thank you to. It's how we want to digest ourselves and others, to love ourselves, to forgive others. That is literally what life is about. It's not about, oh, I got the top of the line job and I made all this money and now I get to die this like golden trophy winner. That's an experience. But life is about all these interactions and how we make imprints on other souls, and we challenge souls, okay? So you are the gift of challenge to yourself and others. You're not the problem. You're the gift of challenge to yourself and others, and you're learning very hard and complex lessons about love and relationships. That doesn't make you a monster at all. That makes you a complex and deep soul exploring complex concepts in love and relationships. And you're challenging other souls as well as your own. So you see, I like to emphasize that, because this world loves judgment and it likes to break people down and it likes to say you're bad, you're good. It likes to sit you on timeout and make you feel ashamed. But why are you feeling ashamed of yourself? That says something. It says that you yourself are uncertain of your decisions. And so we need to explore what your true voice is deep down inside, what it's saying about your decisions. And I find that you can live an honest life, right? Or you can work around honesty. And your soul gets to decide how it relates to being completely and utterly honest or working around honesty, and how that affects yourself and others. Another complex lesson. Good lessons, really good ones. So you got to decide how you take pride in yourself at this point. Because what we're running into is pain and suffering, big time. And you're trying to make the melted pizza room out to be acceptable, when you deep down inside it's actually way worse than that. And there's something embarrassing and it doesn't smell right, okay? Something doesn't smell right here. And you know all of this. You know all of this. So what is the resistance? Let's get straight to the point here. Do you want to be honest? You know, we all know what honesty is. It's that terrible feeling of knowing that you need to come out with the truth. And the truth that can break people down, shatter realities. You're the gift that can shatter realities. Doesn't feel good to be that gift. I'll tell you what, I don't like being a gift that shatters realities, because you blame yourself for hurting others. But what if it was intended to create the challenge where those souls would decide what the lessons they wanted to learn from this? So you can't take responsibility for everybody, but you can take responsibility for yourself. And you can take responsibility for how you want to move forward in life. You can say, let's look at 10 years from now, and you're looking back and saying, you know what, I came clean. I told the truth about it all. And all that stuff is cleared off of my soul, and now I get to see the aftermath of the choices that I made. And you can still forgive yourself, by the way. You have the power to love yourself no matter what the choices have been. And no matter how other people choose to love you, you can love yourself. Your spirit guides, your higher self, you wouldn't believe, like, every soul in the universe loves you. I love you. Like, we're all human here. We're all in pickles. So let's explore this, okay? What is your relationship with full-on honesty? You need an answer to this very raw question that you'd be... It feels like you're tap dancing around it. You say, but I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. And I want you to answer the question now when we're in the pizza room. You literally deep down inside do feel like you did something that you would define as really bad or not that bad. But the word bad keeps coming up here. So you're telling me that deep down inside, there's a part of you, a very loud, the depths of who you are, is saying that defining your actions is as bad, okay? So you're here now in the pizza room telling me you did nothing wrong. So you did nothing wrong? You're living with shame and guilt. You did nothing wrong? Where are those emotions coming from? It's coming from the pizza room that says that you have done something wrong. You to yourself define yourself as bad, as the monster, as what was supposed to be sold as this high-end wood furniture is not even particle board, it's this weird cardboard. I see. Okay. This is good. So I'm really proud of you. You're trying to put words to things, and through those words we can work on going deeper, okay? So I'll describe what you look like in the pizza room. Your face is made out of 2 glass bottles that are clear and see-through, okay? And there's a water liquid in both of them, and they're not completely full. And your head goes back and forth, like, I did nothing wrong. So this water goes back and forth with your head. I can't even see your face. And it feels like you're also tied up, and that you've become flaky with those words. Like you're too thin. You're like a thin skin saying that to me. But you don't want to go in the part of yourself that did do something wrong, because now you have to acknowledge it and do something about it. But we're building up, okay? We're building up the strong, solid foundation to help you decide where you want to go next. But everything in your energy field is telling me that you do feel like you've done wrong. You do consider yourself the monster of the story. You're going to have to face yourself in order to bring reconciliation. And you're going to have to decide whether you want to be honest and to know inside your heart and soul that you chose to come clean in this life about all this stuff. No matter how it affected everybody else. You came clean. Now you can live with yourself. You actually can, because you chose to be an honest person. When you're an honest person, you can always live with yourself. But when you're avoiding the honesty, it just keeps building up this discomfort that you just kind of push down and excuse away when you never really feel right, you know? It makes you feel kind of not well on a regular basis. And the only way to mend the illness is to choose honesty, you know what I mean? Now, if you choose to kind of avoid coming completely clean, isn't that what you've been doing this whole time, is going around in circles and avoiding? You're going to have to stop avoiding. And you are choosing that, because you are saying, I am avoiding and I don't want to avoid anymore. I need some support in the process because I'm overwhelmed by it. And you are overwhelmed by it. You're absolutely overwhelmed. And so this is going to help you kind of sort out your thoughts and your feelings and come to some grounded, balanced answers and perspective. Because this is what your energy field is saying. This then is an accumulation of an answer for you, okay? Based on what we can do to bring your energy into balance, you're going to have to choose honesty. This is good, because this you with the bottles and the water going back and forth and I didn't do anything wrong, she's changing. And all this stuff is starting to circulate in the pizza room, and the human flesh and the pizza flesh and the embarrassing smells. It's all like kind of circulating into a body. And this is a very strange body, but let's just say it has a very spherical head resting perfectly on top of what is kind of like a gravestone shape, but the walls, the sides of the gravestone kind of come down a little bit inward. That's literally the shape, okay? That's a body that is standing in front of me. It's quite large and it's made out of stone. I see. So okay, there's a lifetime where you chose to run away to save yourself. Okay, I keep telling you, that's okay. You need to make decisions in life. You couldn't cope with it. You couldn't love yourself for that one the whole life. Oh, you felt like a coward. It's like you got away, or you ran away, or you avoided a big conflict and people died, and you felt like you should have been there. And I don't know if I say to your guys, I don't know that I agree that you were a coward. I would like to understand more about that statement, because you were extremely affected by this. Oh. There's, I still don't understand what the event was, but I see you're actually on, like, what is kind of like a trial stand, but it's not like a room like that where there's a jury and a judge and people. It's actually just a wooden box. It's a platform that's maybe 6 feet long at best. And you're standing up, and it's extremely rural. It's like there's no room here. I mean, people are just in the outdoors, and everybody is talking amongst themselves and pointing at you. And there's a leader of this community that has to make a decision. I don't know that this is the same life. This one seems different to me. I feel very very like I'm gonna collapse in my mind. Like my mind is getting woozy, and I'm very heavy, and I'm getting extremely sleepy, and I'm very overwhelmed, and I just want to collapse because I know the answer is death. Okay, this is not like you're gonna get hung, though. I'm not sure what the death experience is gonna be like here, but you just collapse and you want this to be over. And I don't know what your choices were to get up here. You won't talk to me about it. I say, it's time for you to face all this shame. It's time for you to face it. Is this why you ran away? You got away? This time you're on trial, you're gonna be handled. And it's the same shame and guilt as the coward lifetime, as you got away, this time you didn't get away. This time you gotta face judgment, okay? And now you're carrying hardcore energies into this life, where you've created the perfect setup to expose yourself again to extreme judgment and degradation. And you feel like a coward? You do, actually. But that is not as loud here as it is guilt and shame, like you said. And you're gonna be punished, and you're gonna be judged, and you're terrified of this. So which choice do you want to make? Do you want to run away and have to live with yourself for the rest of your life? Whether that running away is just ending that side relationship and just moving forward as though nothing ever happened, you're going to have to work through that. Or do you want to face it, and it's going to remind you of when you had to face it last time and you literally died from it. It's a weird death. I see that they're asking you to walk into what is like a jungle alone. And they keep showing me what is 3 poison darts that are gonna go into your back. But they're gonna follow you into the forest for like a mile, and you're not gonna know when those darts are gonna hit you, but you will die of a certain type of like snake poison. And it's going to hurt really bad. And you're shaking and crying the whole time. And this walk of a mile gives you time to think about everything and to decide what your fate means to you. And the reason this community is choosing poison is because your actions poisoned their beliefs. And so now you too must be poisoned as a payment for how you've poisoned the community. It's like, my God, well, what did you do? It's so poisonous. You won't talk about it. I say, come clean already. I mean, let's talk about this. Let's not close the books of history. Like, let's open this up and read the chapter. Let's talk about this. Let's understand this. Well, first you show me you got kind of wild eyes, and like you hear the stars and the moon talking to you, and you speak to beings on the other side. So you're considered like a witch type. And I say, well, that's kind of interesting, because usually, you know, that could be accepted in these types of communities. You say that you were, okay, you don't know how to explain what had happened, but something was decided that you had cursed the village. And the only way to alleviate the curse on everybody was for you to be killed in this way. And I say, well, did you put a curse on them? You say you're not sure, because you were in love with one of the spirits that was coming to you. And it was a very erotic experience. And it gave you a sense of freedom and growth that you felt was better than life itself. Was better than life itself. These exchanges were better than life itself. And you felt a sense of power from that, like you were chosen or you were special because you were having these experiences, that you were chosen for these experiences. Again, you're in a conflicting scenario where you, the human, get to decide what it means to you. You decide what that means to you. Why is that? So society creates these ideas, these collective viewpoints of what is right and wrong. And you explore something that's outside the box, and you give that opportunity for all the other souls to decide what that means to them collectively. So again, you represent somebody that creates the catastrophic event that ripples its loud way through a circulation of people and gives those people an opportunity to think outside the box, or to hate you for all eternity, or for whatever. So where you're the one that's pointed out as the bad guy, you actually gave the blessing and the gift for so many to feel different in their hearts, to think about you. It's almost like you left an imprint on this community for generations to come. Even after you were poisoned, you left an imprint. And it feels like that imprint was loud enough where people were starting to develop a fear of the spirit realm, because they didn't know how to interpret you. They interpreted you with fear, and they got rid of you, which is to get rid of their fear, but you energetically lingered in their memory, which then the memory, which was the fear that was never actually resolved within the heart of the community, became generationally duplicated into the younger generations. But that they show me that eventually breaks somewhere around the 4th or 5th generation. And all that old stuff starts to slough away, and there's a new yellow and green color that brings new life to the community. And there seems to be a soul that was born into this community, like 4th or 5th generations later, who was male, who was very like Christ consciousness energetically. And was very benevolent, and seemed to not be afraid of communicating between the physical and the spirit realms. And you actually started a domino effect where this community would start to work through serious fears of the other side, only to circulate into a time when they're empowered to work with the other side and to find ways to safely and securely do that. You were not the ugliness, you were actually the beginning of what became a very good thing in the long run. And so we need to turn your memories inside out. You're not the bad guy, you're the good. You are the good. You are the calamity that creates the domino effect that changes, deeply reaches souls and transforms souls deeply from the inside out. So we can look at it as human beings and say, oh, this is right, this is wrong, how dare you make these choices? Or we can look at it from another eye, another viewpoint, and say, wow, your choices and the burdens that you've been carrying for the last 15 years have been breaking you down, but giving you the opportunity to plant a seed that you should not fear the judgment of others. Never fear the judgment of others. This could be a very graduating time for your soul. I want to go and I just want to look at the life where you ran away, because that was really traumatizing. I just keep seeing a dog involved in it. I just see a dog that has it's a smaller, like, what kind of dog would that be? Like an Australian Shepherd type dog. It's very high energy. And it's got like black and white and an orangish brown fur. I always see this dog every time I look into that life. I see this dog. Oh, I can tell, like, you're overwhelmed, you're breathing, you're running, you're frantic, you're panicking. Oh, this has to do with the spirit realm as well. There's quite a dark figure that's hysterically laughing behind you, and is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like a massive black storm of energy. And you're trying to run away, and you go deep into the thick of the forest. But you show me that there's so much more to it than this. And you show me that a town in the distance is on fire. And you show me that you yourself want to set yourself on fire, and that you do not deserve to get away. You do not deserve to get away. And you literally start to create this where you're going to set yourself on fire as a means to kind of reconcile your decision making. And I take the torch and I say, what in the world are you thinking? I say, what happened? Oh, you took some stuff on your way out. You got away, but you took people's belongings from the village. And you kind of knew that this village was going to be pillaged soon, so you were kind of prepared for the event. And while the screaming and the terror was happening, you grabbed as much stuff as you could and got out of town. But then you heard all this screaming going on, and a reality sets in that, are these possessions more valuable than the lives of the community? And you kind of wonder what the heck you were thinking. What was I thinking? Like, was I completely delusional? Like, what was I thinking? Why was I okay with this? And it seems like you sold them out, sold somebody out. You were a catalyst for a big event so that you could get away with some of the riches. What's interesting though is, I don't know, it's like you had this interesting inspiration, and it's very youthful, it's very attractive. It feels good. Feels like a great idea. But it was extremely loud bang when it started to set in what a dumb idea this was. And I say, boy, this really, I don't know if I mean, that's pretty hardcore. That's then the word coward comes in really, really loud. And you say, that is why I need to burn myself alive. That is why I need to, you show me a gun, shoot myself in the head. I don't deserve, these riches were never mine. There were other people's. I stole. I say, live with yourself. Live with yourself. Why not forgive yourself for this? This is too hard. You say you can't because there's too many lives were involved. It's not forgivable. I see. There's another side to the story. You want to know what it is? So let's say there's two kingdoms. And you had access to some information as a higher end of it, okay? And there was a maiden who was extremely attractive in the other kingdom, and you had the opportunity to make way with to live a very good life with this woman in the other kingdom, but you were going to have to work with the other kingdom in order to get to that experience, to get to that. It just always goes and smolders in the forest. It always goes into the forest, and it's like you never left the forest. It's like you burned yourself alive. I just keep seeing that you're in the forest, and now the forest is on fire, and you're in the fire of the forest. And for some reason, your soul feels like you need to be punished again and again and again and again and again. And you want to work through really hard, complex lives related to judgment specifically. Judgment of others towards you, judgment of yourself, judgment of really complex choices. And then enduring a torturous pain associated with that. Because you deserve that pain as a result of your stupid choices. I mean, that's what it keeps kind of echoing that. But I disagree. Like, you're missing the point. You come here to be put in these weird tangles and these weird pickles, and you need to work with forgiveness. You need to work with forgiveness. By the way, just talking about these two lives is really alleviating a lot of weight from your soul. I mean, it is literally alleviating so much weight, because what I'm doing is I'm not allowing the forest to burn anymore. And you ask if you could go back in time and relive this life over again, you would make a different choice, and you would see that your life with a maiden was not worth all the gold in the kingdom. I say no. Vibrationally, the universe says no, that you cannot relive the life, because what you need to do is live a life with your choices and learn how to forgive yourself. Once you learn how to forgive yourself, it'll naturally come to pass where you'll get another lifetime like this, and you'll have learned your lesson so loudly, never do anything like that again. And why though? Why wouldn't you do that again? Why would you feel guilty? It's like you wanted your cake and you wanted to eat it too, right? And so, is it worth it to get your cake and eat it too? Is it worth it to just live an honest life and maybe lose out on some things that would really mean a lot to your soul, but choose patience to get to embrace those things in another lifetime? You are literally coming to pass with a major, you're about to win the lottery of success at the soul level, and it's a really big deal. I also see your soul as magnificent at creating learning for a lot of other souls, and a lot of souls are grateful for you for that. But unfortunately, there's a great burden that you carry by being that that one, okay? And you need to embrace that as part of your soul creates those train wrecks. But you can forgive yourself. You're going to be needing a different kind of dough. As I see all of this circulating into like a genuine achievement award. And you finding a way to love yourself no matter the choice, and forgiving yourself and loving the souls, all the souls in your life, no matter how they're able to love you in return. That you'll be able to live with a clean, good heart. All this is really, I mean, you feel a lot better. It's going to give you a lot to think about, okay? You're going to have to follow your heart. And if you were to ask your heart, what is the right thing to do? What does your heart tell you? What does your heart say? Man, this has been so interesting. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being so open. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to look into your situation, and for all of us to learn something extraordinary from your life. And I'm giving you a big hug, and I want you to remember that the reality of life is meant to be confusing and complicated, and we're meant to go into these weird pickles and decide what is the depths of our decision making moving forward. And then defines what we decide is our true nature, our true self. And there's where you get these weird power words like, I choose to be an honest person. I take pride in doing the right thing. What is the right thing? Is honesty worth it? To know that. Like, this is a power word we're talking about. But now forgiveness is a power word. I have the power to forgive myself because we all make mistakes. I have the power to forgive myself even if other people cannot. I have the power to choose to love myself wholeheartedly because I can acknowledge I make mistakes, and I chose to be honest about those mistakes, and now I'm going to live my life. You know what I mean? If you keep avoiding, I feel like you're going to have to live still with the guilt and the shame, and it's going to carry over into another lifetime. And that's okay too. But I feel like you're meant to face this in the hardest way possible, and come out learning powerful lessons in self-love and forgiveness, and honesty. And those are going to ripple into the past and into the future, because you are the nucleus of all time right now. You represent the nucleus of all time for your soul. And you are the gift to everybody in your life. No matter the choices you've made, you are the gift. Even to us here on YouTube, you are the gift. Thank you so much. All right. And everybody watching, thank you too. And thank you so much for your love and support of my clients. And let's send lots of love and no judgment here, okay? Support. All right, have a great day, everybody.